Hello, hello. Dying. SUPERTOHOREMIX here once again, bringing you an update which I've kind of been thinking about on and off for a little while now. So, over the past few days, as I'm about to bring up on the screen right now, yes, I have been working on some new material. What you see before you, the blacked out tracks, have been made between the span of the last 2 to 3 days. So yes, I have been busy. And if you can have a little nose around, you'll notice a common denominator in regards to the artists. That's right. I have finally been getting around to doing classic Akira Ifukube. Or rather, Akira Ifukube. There we go. You get what I mean. So, yes, I have been very slowly but surely delving into classic Godzilla soundtracks, which is, I imagine, something a lot of you have been waiting for the longest time. However, it's now gotten to the point where in terms of material, I'm starting to see the bottom of the well. Because, let me put it this way. Akira Ifukube, especially classic Akira, not the easiest to work with. One being a lot of his material is kind of recycled from film to film. So for example, I was looking into doing a track from War of the Gargantuas, and the track that I was thinking about mashing up was one that I technically did already. The reason being is, for those who don't know, the soundtrack to Godzilla vs. Destroyer, a lot of it is reorchestrations for some of the military marches from War of the Gargantuas. So, I'm not the kind of person who likes to immediately do repeats, if you get my drift. It doesn't mean War of the Gargantuas and the like are completely excluded. It just means I have to dig and work a bit hard to find something that I haven't done before in its entirety. The second issue is, in regards to me dealing with classic Akira, is there is not a lot that can go with his material and work well. For example, if I can just try and think of one from the crevice of my memory. Actually, one recently, in fact, one of the ones I blacked out. One of the ones I made recently, I consider a complete dud. It sounds pretty bad. And I'm still debating if whether to upload it at all, or eventually. It's as bad as Gorilla War, the one mashup I made from Godzilla Monster Planet, which to this day I still consider taking down because of how much dissatisfaction I have with that bloody thing. And to go off tangent real quick, I don't understand, right? So I do get the odd comment where people express their distaste for one mashup or another, which I have no problem with whatsoever. But what I find surprising is those distastes have been on mashups which have been far superior and better made than Gorilla War. Yet I have not heard one stint of negativity towards Gorilla War, and I don't understand why. To this day, I still stand by Gorilla War being the worst mashup I've ever done, especially post the Shinken Godzilla Sound Attack mashup compilation I made a while back. Anyway, I'm getting way too off tangent. Now, going back into what I was saying about seeing the bottom of the well. Because of this, unfortunately, and I'd feared this might happen, production of mashups, if I keep going this way, are going to be a lot slower, just because of the time I might need, not only trying to gather the material, but also trying to find something that could go with said material and sound good. The 4 out of the 5 blacked out mashups you see on screen, it's a miracle I got them to sound even audible at all, but here we are, and it's just going to get more scarce from here, because, well, again, the Akira stuff, a lot of it is recycled from film to film, so that's a little bit of an issue. And then the second thing is, in regards to the Godzilla films at least, outside of that, there's not really much else I think I can do at the top of my head. Obviously, we got the 3rd anime installment coming out soon, and then next year we're getting King of the Monsters, so maybe that'll bring him out some new stuff. So as a result, I'm now looking into other Showa era type films that Toho produced between the 1960s to possibly the late 70s maybe. As a little hint towards this, the last mashup I blacked out, you can make out one of the artists' names. Now, if any of you who have subscribed to me know your Toho music catalog, you might have an idea as to what that mashup originates from, or what film that mashup originates from. So, yeah, I'm having to dig into not only more Akira Ifukube, which is going to be an absolute nightmare to try and make work, but also looking into maybe stuff like Half Human, Madam White Snake, if I can find the soundtrack to that thing. I'm going to say this. I'm going to exclude Dogora just because I've heard its soundtrack and it ain't great. It ain't great. And when the common consensus is that's pretty much Akira's weakest composition, you know I'm in trouble when it comes to the Dogora soundtrack. So I say with regret that the Dogora soundtrack is out. Unless by some miracle I can find something that can make it work. So, what is this change, you ask? What am I going to do in order to make sure that I have a decent supply of mashups, as well as having enough time and productivity to keep making them? As you know, for a while I had the rota of an upload being every week. From the way things are going now, I am looking into, and I'm sorry that's going to have to come to this, but it was going to happen eventually. I'm thinking of changing it from weekly to monthly. I may have been pretty productive over the last few days, but that's not going to last. And again, I'm going to have to get my shovel out and do some real digging to see what there is left to work with in regards to the catalogue, in terms of what's still available and what else I can find that can go with said material. So yeah, unfortunately, I regret to announce that from the end of this month, I'm gonna do my uploads in regards to my mashups monthly. So rather than a new mashup coming out every week, there will be a new mashup coming out every month, and I'm aiming it to be at the end of every month. I don't know how consistent this is going to be, but please try and understand. It's now getting to that point where these are getting more and more difficult to produce, so to speak. So yeah. However, to sprinkle this with a little bit of lighter news, minus the one mashup I alluded to earlier, the other 4 that I blacked out, I think you guys are going to get a real kick out of, especially those who have been waiting for some more stuff from the Showa era. I worked pretty decently on these. I got them to work as best as I can, and they sound alright, but regardless, I think you guys are going to appreciate somewhat, because I mentioned on previous occasions that I wanted to have a bigger focus on Showa, and I am pleased to announce that as of this, it's finally happening. There's going to be less of it as a result, but I am trying to drive more towards Showa, and with these 5 blacked out new mashups, that is happening. So thanks for sticking around and listening to me bumbling on while my brain is still kind of functioning. Project 8 is still going on slowly but surely. Unfortunately, my desired end date in regards to shooting, that's not going to happen. The quick reason being is circumstances have changed with the other person who lives or technically owns this house, my mum. Yeah, I'm one of those people that lives with my mum but doesn't live with my mum, if you get my drift. So unfortunately, due to things on her end, she'll be coming home. Thankfully, the agreement's been made where I can still keep the set where it is, but there will be times where I will have to dismantle it and then put it up again. That, and also some of the scenes I've been wanting to do, and considering I recently put together what I took so far and animated it, what I've accumulated from May till now has only resulted in 5 minutes, and this is just the raw animation, no edits or anything, which is great, but at the same time, I've still got a ways to go in order to get to the point where I'm satisfied with wrapping up. So it's taking longer than I anticipated. The current thing I'm doing with the Project 8, I'm currently working on a fight scene. And for those fellow stop motion animators can attest that the better the fight scene done in stop motion, the more time consuming and more arduous it is to create. Especially when it comes to creating unique moves and making decent choreography that isn't beam spamming and tail spamming. Alright, I've mumbled long enough. Too long didn't hear. New upload schedule is going to change from weekly to monthly because I'm finally digging into Showa, but as a result, the well is starting to dry up a little bit, and thus me having the time to produce extra material and find material is becoming less and less. Thank you guys for your understanding as always. I mean seriously. I'm still finding it hard to comprehend. It's been way over a year since coming back, and I believe I'm not that far off from 2,000 subscribers. So that Q&A I've been alluding to, yep, that's definitely going to be a thing now. So thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. I hope everyone's doing well, and Showa is coming. The Showa era is finally going to arrive on SUPERTOHOREMIX. SUPERTOHOREMIX signing out. Take care and stay gold.